That was quite the game today, Hikaru. Do you enjoy days like this when you're playing?
I mean, if I can get a position like this where it's one way, no risk at all. I mean, I'll play classical chess for another 50 years. But I mean, to get the position I got today was just a dream, really. I was very lucky that Gukesh clearly hadn't looked at this bishop g6 move, perhaps. I mean, I suspect he just looked at this before the game or something. So it was very reminiscent of another game I had in the Isle of Man in 2023, I think it was, against Fabiano, where it was also a four knights. And, it's one of those things where if you fall asleep for a move or two, bad things happen very quickly. And I think once Gukesh took on g6 with the f-pawn, it was all downhill. So I was very, 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 very smooth day.
Magnus was saying, or has been saying for the past days now, that he gets bored with classical chess. He sits there and is wondering why he's playing at times because it takes too long. Do you somehow share that sentiment?
I think Magnus and I are we have very similar mindsets, but for very different reasons. So yeah, I would agree with Magnus that definitely playing classical chess is a lot harder. The amount of preparation you have to do, for example, is far higher. I would say like every day here I'm spending hours, whereas if this were Raptor or Blitz, I could spend 30 minutes, show up, and who really cares? So there are differences. I think that as you get older, it becomes harder. Magnus, of course, he's a world champion. He was a world champion 5 times. So I think that the motivation is lacking, and as we know, he has his own issues with FIDE, so he'll never come back. So yeah, it's disappointing, but I would say maybe on the bright side, people should start looking to the future. I would argue a lot of people in chess, they're sort of expecting Magnus and I to sort of carry the torch forever, but we aren't going to be around forever as far as classical chess goes, and so maybe it's a good thing.
Classical chess in itself, is it dying right now? Do you think it's going to lose its value?
Well, it's not so much about the value that I refer to. I think what I would say is classical chess will always be interesting as long as both players are willing to fight. I think that both players want to be very boring, like some of the games in the last couple of rounds, like my games or the Wei Magnus game, for example. Then it is. But overall, I would argue classical chess is still doing quite well. But I think I think Magnus and I played our last classical game yesterday. I really do believe that in my heart of hearts.
Thank you.
Sure.